A very good morning to all of you, and welcome to the White Owl, the book launch here at Neatu Plaza. I am your chair today. My name is Gugu Haralu, and also an RJ of the 90.8, the community radio here in Dimapur. Um, a very happy International Women's Day, and it's amazing to see this room filled with each one of you. And it is because of your yes, we're able to feel this pulse, this vibe, and also the positive energy that you've all brought in making this program a success by beginning with this. We also welcome our gentlemen who have come with their friends. Thank you so much for being here. And we're grateful to our keynote speaker, Ma'am Mademoiselle Jamil here, Nito Rio, who's going to be sharing her story. We would like to also express on behalf of Shiroy, Shiza, Sanya. She was one of our speakers, but unfortunately she met with a back sprain and she sends her regret, but also wishes all of us a happy International Women's Day and told us to have fun, all right? So with that note, what more can I say? I am actually, for the first time, feeling very nervous for the fact that it took us about maybe 3 weeks to prepare this journey together. And with so much of election fever going on, a lot of the invited friends we got in touch with, they said, post-election we'll see whether we can make it or not. Our initial plan was to do a registration, via registration, 100 plus women, first come, first basis. And we wanted to keep it open. But with a lot of our women friends and in our network, they expressed they were unsure what would unfold. We felt, okay, let's make a small event to begin with, and let that be a sense of direction for a bigger gathering the next time. So this event is actually looking forward to each one of you here in this room to decide the next best thing in a bigger note. There has been a request in Kohima to have a similar event in inviting our women friends and women in network. The intention is very simple today, even though the theme is actually technology and innovation for gender equality. And we named it, in fact, for Women of Grace and Courage, because each one of us in this room, including myself, I consider that all of us have made our way through by God's grace, and with also the sense of resilience that we have in us as women, and it's a blessing. The program is very simple, and we encourage each one of you to please engage with each other. We do have our keynote speaker where she will be spending time in sharing her thoughts, her journey, and also in connection with the theme. And she has a beautiful story, in fact, how she experienced technology. Second thing is, I'm glad, in fact, we're very happy, Nito, you said yes to us. In any way, Nito was coming, but she said yes to share her journey with us, how she being a bodybuilder. She was able to, pass through many hurdles that as not just a woman, but also being a professional bodybuilder, she was able to find a place in that professional work. So we hope that you get inspired through her story, and many more. We hope that you engage with us as it flows. And with this time, I give time to our MD. She is Imali Hesso of the community radio. She's the new MD that she is leading the young 25 of us. And we're very happy that we are able to do this together. Our venue partner is the White Hall, owned by Atuno, and she's here. We are so grateful for your yes and making this possible for us. Because finding a place like this, it's not easy. Neither it's difficult, but I think the willingness to join hands makes it worthwhile. And on that note, I would like to welcome our MD to have an opening note for us.
A very warm welcome to all the beautiful personalities present here today. Happy International Women's Day. So firstly, I would like to extend my thanks to all of our invitees and my esteemed guests that's listed on our program today, and especially to Ma'am Banu Jamil for gracing us with her presence. I wish to also thank Abdul Rio and her team for giving us the space, and to also Hill's team, and especially to Gugu Haralu and Billy Bisu for pulling this amazing event. So, as International Women's Day is celebrated all across the world today, and which has become a custom today, I'm blessed and it's a joy to be here today with this in this room filled with exceptional women, because I never thought I would ever meet any one of you until now. Today we honor and celebrate each one of us, and that means you and me, regardless of the many roles we take part in. This day, which I feel is way too concise to appreciate womanhood. However, I feel it's a great opportunity to come together, to share, to learn, to respect, to show love and appreciation, to understand and figure how we resonate one another, and that means to embrace equity. So let us all recognize the importance of our existence and motivate each other for our future achievements by continuing to put all our efforts, as we have a bigger responsibility to empower each other. I believe we are all equal stakeholders, because women's struggle is not limited to one person or to one organization, but it applies to all of us. Through this occasion, I really want to encourage myself and everyone here today that if we don't embrace each other, then when? Because what we have created here today, right now, it's so beautiful. It's a family. It's a true meaning of community right here and right now. Now I would also want to touch upon this year's theme, digital, linking the theme with radio. According to UN Report 2022, 37% of women all around the world don't have access to internet. And according to NFHS 5 report, in Nagaland, 49.9% of women have access to internet. So what about the rest? So this is where radio comes to fill the gap. Radio remains relevant even in today's digital age, because even after 110 years of its existence, radio has proved to be resilient despite all the different communication changes. Radio has proved to be the most widely consumed medium in the global level. Radio has no boundaries because it only requires voice. It's accessible, participatory, inclusive, and a powerful hyper-local media tool. Radio is purely governed and operated by the community, which is aware of its members' sensibilities, customs, and prevailing behavioral patterns. This is possible by educating and mobilizing community, by addressing social, economic, cultural, educational, health, and other issues more strategically and effectively, which will improve the lives of the listeners. Radio has immensely helped during the COVID-19 all around the world. And what makes it more intriguing is because we don't know how many listeners are listening through one set. It could be one person, 5, 10, or even more. Radio is powerful in many contexts because of its pervasiveness, because of its ease of operation, and it overcomes literacy barriers. Community, community radio stations all over the world serve the community, and likewise, Hills FM play a vital role in spreading awareness relating to social issues, women's rights, and many more. We at Hills FM work by developing innovative programming style, ensuring women participation, broadcasting story format with rural, real-world problems. We conduct simple conversations with the community, and we also recently ran a program on digital rights where we went to different schools and colleges to the marketplaces and we shared about the rights of a citizen on digital, about the digital world. We also host, we wish to build awareness and inclusiveness in sectors where the internet cannot penetrate. Hills FM aim to work on gender gap inequality and women rights in the future. So this is an invitation for anybody here. If you have interest on similar areas where we Hills FM work, then kindly, I'm looking forward to have more interaction after this session. So with this note, I want to conclude my speaking and let's all honor, respect and adore all the amazing women in our life on this International Women's Day. Whether it's your mother, your wife, your daughter or your friend, and especially you and yourself. Let us commit to build a gender responsive world. Thank you.
Thank you, Imali, for opening the space and also sharing your thought on today's special occasion. Now, with all the formalities, I would like to break it down a little bit of getting familiar with one another. Since I really can't remember everyone's name and would like to request taking this time to have a round of self-introduction. Sounds okay? Right? So since you're here, let's start on my right side and let the slide pass on. Please introduce yourself. If you have an organization that you're working with, or it's your organization that you have initiated, your business, or anything that you're doing, please let us know who you are so that it makes our interactive session during this time and also downstairs as we share meals. So it's wonderful to also know that a lot of you has really made an effort to cook and bring your dishes and hopefully will enjoy the rest downstairs. So with that note, may I pass it on to my right and give it to you.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Kenny. I'm from Ajit School of Business and I'm the Assistant Coordinator for Entrepreneurship Development Center. That is, we recently launched this Entrepreneurship Development Center in colleges. That is a program for entrepreneurs to give, to make entrepreneur as a culture. So it is supported by the IDAN and Department of Industry and Commerce.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ronsangda Mokumar. I currently work as a junior scientist in Nagaland Pollution Control Board. I don't have anything else to say, but thank you so much for the invitation to the host as well. I hope we all have a great time. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Stella Solon. I'm a homemaker. Hello, good morning everyone. Well, my name is Anna. To talk about my dissertations as program officer, it sounds so big, but at the end of the day, we are just providing technical support to the NGOs that is working on the HIV program, HIV and AIDS. So thank you, Ella, and thank you the entire team for welcoming us, for being a part of, for inviting us, and then we would like to grow more with all of you, encouraging each other and then growing together. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Bugoli. I'm Imali's sister, and we run a store called IMU together. And apart from that, I'm an interior designer. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Tohokadi Dilatho. I'm the proprietor of Nagaland Integrated Culture, and yeah, I'm very blessed to be part of such an event. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sepetu Todakiso. I am the proprietor of The Branch. It's a sushi bar. I'm also a professional photographer. Such a pleasure to be here today.
Hi everyone, my name is Beverly Jibo. I'm a sub-editor at the Morning Express. It's nice to be here.
Hi, good morning. Happy International Women's Day to everyone. My name is Lobitoli Aomi, and I'm by profession I'm a counseling psychologist. I have my own center in Green Park, and I'm also involved in church as a children ministry counselor. And I'm very blessed and lucky to be a part in this wonderful program. Thank you for inviting.
Hello everyone, I'm Elizabeth Chanoy, and I would like to thank the Hills FM for organizing such a beautiful event for the women especially. I am a fashion designer professionally, and very soon I will be inaugurating my own boutique, Ren Boutique, which is just nearby here in City Square. So please show your support. Thank you so much.
Hello, good morning to all of you. I'm Kavi. I'm a calligrapher and I'm a photographer. Thank you so much for inviting. I'm really looking forward to having a wonderful Sunday collective. Thank you.
Hi everyone, happy International Women's Day. My name is Abitori Yato. I am a dietitian by profession, but like on an entrepreneur side, I am the managing director and founder of Multi Group. So I am supplier of medical equipments and surgical equipments to hospitals in Nagaland. And today I'm here for particularly one of my product that I just launched, and that is orthopedic sanitary pads, which we will discuss in the later parts of the program. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Netose Haralu. I work in the field of education. Currently, I'm with the NGO we call Patam Asar, and I've been there for quite some time now.
I'm the proprietor of the White Owl Lounge. I'm so grateful to Hills FM for giving us this opportunity to co-host this program. And welcome.
Hello, very good morning to you all. My name is Laura and I work with an organization called Microsoft as the center coordinator of a project called Thailand to Come. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dina Oli. I run an NGO called Garden Angel. As of now, I have a branch office in Kohima as well as in Singapore. And I work with the community of homosexuals and transgenders. Thank you.
Hello, good morning everyone. My name is Mariam and I'm working as a practical commander and now I'm working in a challenging level.
Hello everyone, my name is Bobli. I'm from Saki One Stop Center. We work with women affected by violence and we link them to the different existing government projects, be it police, legal or medical. Thanks so much and I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jasmine Jamir and I work with my IT staff at Saki One Stop Center. Happy International Women's Day.
Hi everyone, I'm Marina. First of all, thank you Hills FM and Ateneo for hosting us, and I look forward to interacting with all of you later. I work with Naga Ed. It's an edutech company, and it provides learning teaching solutions for teachers, students, and admins. And I'm the operations manager there. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, happy International Women's Day, and I'm good to see you. So nice to have you. I'm Ella from Prodigal's Home, and today I'm meeting so many women from different walks of life, and it's so inspiring. We keep working only with NGO circle, and today we are in a different. It's so nice to be with all kinds of women who are working towards the good of our society. So I'm so privileged and happy to be here. Thank you, FM Radio, for having us. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Frede, and first of all, happy International Women's Day to all the very nice and beautiful ladies here. I'm from Gatso College, English Department, second semester.
A very happy International Women's Day to everyone present here. My name is Shivani Mary. I'm currently pursuing my doctoral degree. Apart from that, I'm also serving as an assistant professor in Gatso College. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sanjubin Kijani, and I'm currently working in Tetsu College as an assistant professor in the Department of English. I'm truly honored to be a part of this program. Thank you so much.
A very good morning to you all. My name is Izzy Dilingya, studying in Tetsu College, 6th semester, Commerce, and I'm very honored to see and meet such women power here. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Azum, and I'm from Sisterhood Network. I'm so happy that Ma'am Bano is also here, and then thank you, FM, Hills FM, and this White Owl for having all of us here. It's so wonderful. Actually, you know, all my team is in a particular village celebrating Women's Day with our all women clubs. So I'm the luckiest one here to be here, and I'm so happy that Sisterhood Network was founded by a legend, a mentor, and a teacher, Sister Alonga Ayer. And she's not here, but we celebrate her life today. So yeah, thank you so much. Have a beautiful time.
Hello, my name is Yasna Jamir. We have a small startup called Passion Fruit, and then our team is from West to Wales. We research on value addition of the grain poultry products and non-timber forest product. And I'm also working in a development organization called Nagaland Development Outreach in Dimapur. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kibi, and with my husband, we pastor a non-denominational church called Kingdom Culture Church. I've also written a children's book called Nino's Secret Garden.
Hello and good morning, one and all. My name is Inga, and I work with the women and the girl jail as a coordinator at the Prodigal Home. And I would like to thank Ms. Buko, and all of you for having me here today. And I look forward to learn from each one of you today. Thank you so much once again.
I'm about to pass out now. Let's come here.
So hi everyone, I'm Naro. I'm now the senior husband company, and I'm a proprietor of 4 children. Thank you.
I am Shu, homemaker, and so blessed to be in the midst of all these wonderful women.
Hello, my name is Nitorio. I'm from the health and fitness industry. I'm also a professional athlete and proprietor of Elite Strength Gym. Thank you, Ma'am Gugu and Hills FM for having me.
This is one.
Hi, I'm Vireno, and I am the co-founder of Vireno's Ballet. And that's pretty much it. God send your children.
Yes.
I'll just take the ramp. Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Billy Lee, and I'm the guest host for Hills FM.
So how about a round of applause for yourself? Right, so that brings at least one wall down. Now you know who's sitting in this room, and one can feel it, why we are here, and I'm sure you're glad why we said yes. It's going to get bigger and better, and on that note, I am going to give now this to our keynote speaker, Ma'am Bano Z. Jamir. Everybody knows her. So I'm going to cut down on the introduction, and she likes it that way. Simple, to the point, and ma'am, thank you so much. But before you go ahead, I would like to request our MD to give away the bouquet as a token of thank you and appreciation for your presence here. May we all put our hands together? Thank you for being here. Yes. And I give the mic to you to
I'm going to use the mic. Okay, because I don't know how to use it.
all right. So that's the beginning of the theme, ladies and gentlemen.
became very all over the place because of, again, technology. I hope you bear with me. A very good morning to all of you, women of grace and courage. And as we join the rest of the world in observing International Women's Day and we celebrate the wonder of being women, I would like that we remember all the women in our lives. Those who have passed on and those who are still with us and all women in general. I think it is a privilege to be a woman. And given an option, I don't know about you, but I will always choose to be a woman. And long live women, long live to their contributions to the family, to the community, to society, and to the world. May the Lord continue to guide us in our march forward. Happy Women's Day, and by default, in India today, we are having a national holiday. It happens to be Holi. You know, there are some countries which have national holidays. I believe, I don't know whether they still practice, but Russia observes Women's International Day as a national day. And in China, the women get half day off work. So I mean to say, you know, communist countries and big countries, they observe, you know, we don't. And I must thank Google and FM radio for making me learn many things, you know, while preparing this to share with you all. The celebration today gives greater significance because of the success of Hekani Jakalu Kensei and Salutono Kuse on being elected as the first women representative to the Nagaland Legislative Assembly. What a historic occasion. Their success is not just for women, it is for, Nagas in general, because it indicates a step forward. You know, a big step which they have made by electing women representatives to the assembly, that these are the lawmakers, as people's representatives, they are lawmakers and they believe that they will make a difference. The proverbial glass ceiling, or as Mona Lisa, I think you know Mona Lisa, yes. She's very articulate, she so aptly coined it, the bamboo ceiling has been broken and indeed smashed, because these two ladies have succeeded on their own strength at par with any other candidate and not on a quota or a reserve seat. And congratulations to the two ladies, they have indeed made us all so proud. May God bless them as they take on the responsibilities of a very honorable but also very onerous task ahead. You know, I have retired now for almost 8 years, and in fact, all of you here, because there are some who may not qualify to be my young enough to be my daughters, but majority of them y'all are young enough to be my daughters, and therefore when I speak to you, I don't know to what extent it will be relevant, but I'm so happy to be able to share with y'all. So I've retired for 8 years, and since then I have not participated in gatherings or occasions such as this. When Google invited me, I hesitated for a long time. And someone else would have not indulged me like she did. And I thank you, Google, for being so patient. I'm a very private person. I'm not really comfortable in gatherings. But the 90.8 community radio, it really intrigued me. And I'm so happy that you have explained some of the issues which was I was interested in. And I wanted to learn more about such an initiative that has started in the now digital world, the role of radio. And you left out one thing about the importance of radio now that I think, because I have not seen or used the radio for I don't know how many years, maybe 20, 30 years. It's a long time. But there is a very important aspect of radio during disasters. These towers may fail, the thing may fail, but the thing is the radio can always, you can use it like we mentioned. So many ways in which the radio is useful. And this is one factor. The FM radio was one factor that motivated me to join you all today. And I'm so glad to be here and to have this great opportunity to interact with such an amazing group of enterprising young women. I mean, I'm really very impressed because, if we talk about living in ivory towers, we do that. We don't know what's happening, You see, the impression I get is that our women are no longer now struggling. We have already reached our level, and then from here we can only go upwards. I'm really very grateful to have met all of you all, and and I hope we'll have more interactions. Now the program speaks of a keynote like who has said, and she told me to speak a bit on the theme digital innovation and technology for gender equality. I will not pretend to know enough to tell you much because of my own limitations on most things digital. And I must tell you that I got a little delayed this morning because of a very, for me, very serious digital and technological glitch. My computer would not transfer the document which I had typed out on my laptop. It wouldn't transfer onto my husband's laptop, and it just wouldn't read the thumb drive. And I had my husband going up to Kohima in the vehicle, giving instruction on the mobile phone, digital technology again, and making me more tense and he himself getting agitated. And the more we got agitated, the more difficult it got to get. So I'm very grateful that because I was there. Had she not been there, this would not have come out. And we talk about women assisting women. I'm very grateful that they are having Women's Day. And then so I will not pretend. Like you, I'm looking forward to reading and listening to all the good speeches and debates on the occasion of International Women's Day that will soon be uploaded on the internet. My husband reminds me that all the time that if I continue to remain IT illiterate or ignorant, I will be left behind. I know it's true, but I don't want that I should be left behind. And although my knowledge is limited, I will share what I understand of the theme. We all know, and I don't have to explain to such already young ladies who know everything, I think, about technology, about the digital world, about innovations, because you all are all innovators. I mean, I think every one of you all are innovators in your respective fields. And therefore, I will not dwell too much on that, but we know that today, everything around us is digital. Use of electronic devices and gadgets govern almost everything in our homes, our activities, our relationship to a large extent. And the wonderful thing about digital is that it provides a level playing field for everybody. In the use of devices such as mobile, cell phones, internet, apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, there is no male, female, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, employed, unemployed, responsible citizen, or even criminal. It is accessible to anyone. You only have to use a smartphone with internet connection. The smartphone works as a communication device, keep in touch with people, gather information and knowledge on any topic or subject, and operates as a bank today. I mean, even in the villages, they use the phone as a bank. I mean, to that extent, it's become so accessible. Online shopping, and the list goes on. Computers, desktops, laptops are larger devices may not be accessible to everybody like a mobile phone, but the users are similar. All these devices and apps make life more convenient in terms of getting your work done without having to move out of your house, make work easier, faster, cheaper. I must tell you that our chef is actually the cook in the house, but he calls himself chef. He's what you call mobile, what do you call profile? He says he's chef. He likes to call himself that. And he got his wife online. Every will know. He got her online, he met her, and she's not the best looking woman, but she's a wonderful woman, and he's so lucky to have got her. He is a young Punjab straight from the village, and he came to us more than 10 years ago. So just to emphasize the universality of the use of the mobile. And there is much downside to the use of mobiles, but today the focus is on the utility and its positive impact on our lives. And the issue is, how do we make such devices available and accessible to women at all levels? The use should not be confined only those who can afford it. If we do that, we'll create a big divide between those who have and those who don't. And here in this place, in this whole thing, innovation is necessary. We're thinking out of the box and making use of those, whatever imaginations we have. Now, innovation has many definitions. We call it change, alteration, revolution, upheaval, transformation, metamorphosis, or reorganization. So it goes on. Maybe a change of direction, a break from tradition. All these are related to innovation, and it is basically the successful implementation of a new idea resulting in creating value. And it begins with a new idea or a plan and with the use of an improved product or a new way of running, operating, managing an establishment, which results in a change of or of an enhancement of an existing condition. The idea need not be novel, it could have been implemented elsewhere, but we apply it to our situation. But we must know that innovation and creativity are not synonymous. Creativity means coming up with a new idea, and innovation takes this new idea and uses it to solve a problem or to transform an existing condition or to adapt to a changing environment. I don't know whether you all have heard of the Sochum program in Pensang. This is related to education. Now, the Sochum program in the Chang area, where the traditional Murung concept, that is the dormitory education, while retaining traditional values, has been adapted to the present day educational and social environment, and a major innovation engenders in the concept of gender equality amongst the children. This can happen in Pensang. Why can't it happen here? I may be wrong, but it seems the format of the program of International Women's Day has not evolved over the years. We have not innovated the manner of celebrating this event in all these years. I was disappointed when Gugu told me that the participants in today's program would be only women. Because we are politics the young so why do we not invite men to celebrate us? Why should we keep telling each other how good we are? We already know that we are good. Yeah, it is. And also share with them what are our problems. You know, my husband actually, I'm telling Gugu and Imadi that he would have presented you with a key address today, which would be, with very wide perspectives, aside from the accolades he would have definitely given you. And there are many feminist males, even in our society, men who support women issues, and who I'm sure would agree with Antonio Guterres. He is the current United Nations Secretary General, who has said, patriarchy is fighting back, but so are we in the UN. The UN stands with women and girls everywhere. Gender equality has a transformative effect that is essential to fully functioning communities, societies, and economies. Would it not be great if men in authority and power in our state were to make such statements in public? The impact would be tremendous. Instead of us amongst ourselves talking about how good we are doing this, we are doing that. International days and even national days are occasions to educate the public on issues of concern, mobilize political will and resources to address global problems, and celebrate and reinforce the achievements of humanity. And International Women's Day is one such occasion, a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women, celebrate women's rights, and inspire people to act in the ongoing fight for gender equality. I could not have got where I am today or was without the wholehearted support of the men in my life. And actually, even Hekani Jakalupense and Sabutunokuse have made history today through their personal effort, definitely, but also because of the strong support of the men in their lives and the men in decision making who believe in them. Apart, of course, from all of the women. But actually, I would like to share something which I don't know whether you agree with it or not. But women are women's worst enemies. Yeah, we don't support, isn't it? I mean, now we've had women candidates even in the past. But if women were really determined to have a woman's representative in the assembly, why can't 50% of the population vote in favor of the woman? Surely that shouldn't be difficult, but it hasn't happened in the past. It has happened today, and we hope that this has opened the door to many more women in the future. Now, about electronic devices, I don't have to tell you about that because we all know what is electronic devices. And the only thing is, what is technology? It is merely a conversion of scientific knowledge into something practical, making things faster and more effective, improving the quality of life, solving specific problems, through interventions like, for instance, medical interventions, transportation, mobility, communication. And these are all products of technology using scientific knowledge to develop products that improve the quality of life. Now, information technology, the latest entrance into information technology, and this is again something which my husband keeps harping. I don't bother because I'm not really interested in it, but he talks about artificial intelligence. And that is something which is going to is going to make a very big impact on all our lives. A very simple example is, I was amazed, I watch movies on YouTube as well as Netflix. Now when I watch a particular movie, the same kind of genre comes, after that, the same kind of same kind of movies come out to show, no? So that is again the AI working, that the AI has already identified the kind of movies I'm interested in. So it's really quite frightening, and I think we should learn more about artificial intelligence. Now, about communication technology, because that's something which all of us use, even in the village level. From the outmoded devices of telegraph and Morse code to telephones, a common communication device all over the world, 1950s to 60s, we had field phones. I don't know whether any one of you even know what is a field phone. It would be a phone where you had to, wind it up and get the thing, and then the man at the exchange picks up the phone. That was the field phones. And we had the exchange. That means apart from the exchange should be there, that the person at the exchange will give you the number he'll bring up. Now here in 1970s and 80s, we had the dial phone. That is the one that you dial. Then same time we had the wireless loop, local loop. Now this is something which was used particularly in the village levels of communication. Then you had cellular and satellite phones. Then in the 2000s, the touch phones came, and then to smartphones around 2010, which are improved wireless forms of telephone that can be used to send audio notes, video messages, photos, email, banking, everything, live audio, video calls from any part of the world if there is internet connection. And we are now in the age of 5G. That's how fast communication has become, as fast as lightning. It is truly mind-boggling. In the last 1 year or so, I've started using information on internet in studying the Bible. And I'm sure many of you do too. And it's really enriching. And there is no end to the kind of information that is available. And the upside of COVID-19 pandemic, we had such a terrible time, but there's an upside to it because it enhanced the use of this mode of communication very largely in the education sector. I was hoping that, what's her name, Shaiza? Yeah, I was hoping she would be here because she's into project, but anyway. And because now we have the virtual classes, and all this cuts down costs on many things. Medical technology deals with everything related to medical sciences, purpose being to improve public health and quality of life. You have pharmaceuticals that are development of drugs and medicines. Then you have diagnostics for identifying what are the problems in your body. And nobody has been left untouched by this or unaffected by this technology, whether directly or indirectly. Now, technology in any form is developed to help us in any possible way, be it in running and managing a household, education, logistics, transport, communication, business, health. Technology has surely made a huge impact on our lives and has made life almost unrecognizable from what it was 50 and maybe even 30 years ago. Every single human being in this world is one way or another affected by technology. Imani has mentioned about the use of internet or whatever that it also says that it is estimated that there are 4.7 billion social media users around the world. That is 50% of the world's population. And that is the world situation. But we come to our own village level. We have this Anganwadi workers. I don't know whether you all know who are Anganwadi workers. They are in the social welfare department. They look after the children, the 0 to 6 group of children. And every Anganwadi worker has been given a smartphone. So just imagine at the village level, and many of them are not even educated, but they are using smartphones to upload information to the government. So that's how effective or how mobile phones have reached us. Now we talk about our status. Here again, when I look at all of you all, I don't know whether it's We all have risen above, but there's the majority of women in our state are still very, very, they are much below what they should be, where they should be. We tend to think that our situation is not good, but very objectively, if we look at prevailing conditions in our state, we are not actually doing too bad. Although much more is required to be done when we look at it, but when we look at the condition of women in Afghanistan, where they are, women are just being wiped out of the public domain, and they're even denied education, or even Iran. Both these countries have such centuries of civilization, and today women are not allowed. I mean, when you read about to what level they are, I really don't understand why the mindset or the attitude of the men in those countries are so primitive, because they were civilizations, and in Iran, even for just for protesting for their rights, women are imprisoned and kept there just without any kind of address. For us in Nagaland, we have been piggyback riding on the achievements made by other advanced countries. Women's Day was first celebrated in America in 1909. It was a national Women's Day, and in 1911, the first International Women's Day was observed in Europe. And it was only in 1975 that the United Nations first observed International Women's Day, which we are also now observing. Now, adult franchise, that is to vote, both men and women in India, was granted, and because if we were part of India, we were granted this adult franchise even before we heard of election. I mean, that's where our position are. And we didn't have to lift a finger to ask for it, as it was fought so fiercely in America and United Kingdom and other countries. And now our state is 60 years old, and much has been achieved since then. I don't know about other states, but I myself was quite amazed to find out the number of women officers who have headed departments as directors and secretaries, including technical departments like roads and bridges, health and family welfare. And the trend is going to continue even in years to come. Now we have 2 elected representatives. I don't know how many states have them, but we are proud to have a very impressive Women's IRB Battalion, Indian Reserve Battalion. I learned the other day while preparing for today's program, and thanks to you again, that the Class 1 women officers in the state stand at around 31%, which is tremendous, because this is on merit, no reservation. And Golda Meir, who was the Prime Minister of Israel, had said, whether women are better than men, I cannot say, but I can say they are certainly no worse. And Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General, has said, before God, we are all equally wise and equally foolish. So both these quotes refer to equality of the nature of men and women as human beings. The position of women in government speaks much about the openness of successive governments in the state in regards to non-discrimination on basis of gender. I also learned that while the employment gap between male and female in the public sector still requires much improvement, this is perhaps the fallout of historical factors. Colonial British rule and domination had emphasized the policies of might is right, and further on extension of education that was available mainly to males who could leave home and hard to pursue it. Accordingly, blue and white collar jobs were the preserve of men. So also the contract works and the larger businesses. This also eventually meant that politics that depended mostly on money power became the preserve of men. Thankfully, today, trend is changing with women performing well in almost every sector, including education, indicated in the growing number of women in offices, and now also breaking into the realm of politics. The gap in the private sector is almost 10% higher in favor of women. That's a very good sign. And in recent times, now most of you all talked about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship in the state has taken on a new image, and the larger women involving women. This is not surprising because entrepreneurship is not a new phenomenon to Naga women. In a hunter-gatherer society, which we were, while the men hunted or gathered for their daily needs, it was the women who toiled to create the surpluses to barter or exchange for other goods or services required by the family. Thus, industrial activity was started in the family heart and it continues still today. It is the women who are doing business of selling primary products such as vegetables on the pavements. And this is a phenomenon all over the state. And I don't know, you must have noticed there are no such men sitting there selling vegetables and fruits and whatever. The current project of the German Development Bank in Nagaland, for and now, this is a project to promote women entrepreneurship, has bloomed in women entrepreneurship network. I don't know how many of you are part of that. Of when? Are you all, any one of you are part of that? Okay, okay. So you see, even in the small gatherings, two of you all are there. So, and I believe that this is almost becoming a movement. And women in Nagaland have already taken the lead in the export-import business over men by persons like Jasmina and Putuli. And that's so many years ago, it's not even recent. The Vatikala of Naroki, most of you all will be familiar with the shop, has far outstripped most men in business. And the second-hand clothes market, I mean, we're all familiar with it, I think, has changed the world of apparel among the Nagas. And this is totally a preserve of women. Maybe when they bring it, maybe the men, but they are not even Naga men. But when you start selling it, it is the women. Soon it is hoped that more women will join the agriculture world with the lead taken by Dr. Akali and the Nagaland Organic Connect in the organic agricultural world. I have a stenographer who's attached with me, who has been with me for many, many years, even when I was in service. And I have seen how much value she has added to her work in the way she has learned to use digital technology. Faster and more efficient, and very important, the amount of confidence that she has today. I remember her, when she first joined, to be a very shy, insecure, not really professionally equipped young lady. But over the years, on her own, she has added value to her, whatever quality she had. And her niece, she's a confectioner, she does profitable online business at home. She's self-taught. And she said just 15 years ago, she had to photostat recipes for her business. But now, because of internet, she's able to download all kinds of information which have added so much value to her product. And the online arrangement makes it very convenient and cheap. No expenses on hiring space for a shop or hiring a helper. And she can earn without disturbing a normal household chores. These are only some examples of how entrepreneurs' skills of women are being adapted and honed to modern norms. In fact, they are improving much faster. Women are improving much faster than males in almost everything. And I think this ability on the part of women to adapt to changes is because women are multitaskers. A housewife has to take on almost every role, from the most menial task to the most complicated requirements of budget management. I have also found that now here comes to a huge advantage of IT is the access it gives you to new knowledge. I learned that in today's context, it is not just gender equality, but gender equity that is required. And this is so aptly and clearly defined in the paper that I read. It says equality is when you give shoes to everybody, and equity is when you give shoes that fit. It may be a little far-fetched, but I love to cite this as an example of the difference between men and women. While I was still in service, I made an observation regarding construction of toilets. Those days, there were almost no public toilets along the highways. A very nice bamboo facility came up at Lal Mati on the Kohima-Dimapur highway. I don't know, you all are so young, I don't know whether you all remember it or not. It was on the highway, on the road, there was a bamboo toilet for men, male and female together. And I don't know whether any one of you remember it. In my opinion, no woman was consulted while making it. It was constructed more for a demonstration, an innovative bamboo toilet rather than for utility. You may agree with me when I say that women would prefer such public facilities with the door not facing the highway. It may be okay for men, perhaps, but definitely not for most women. I was the happiest when the structure was demolished with starting of construction of the 4 lane. Whoever planned and made the facility certainly met a public need, but only for 50% of those meant for wastage of resource and objective. Similarly, there is always two ways of understanding and dealing with issues in life, the way of the man and the way of the woman. It says in the Bible that God made man in his image. He made them male and female, equal as man, as human beings, but different as persons, having different ideas and needs. Thus, the issue of equity and not just equality. For me, I mean, I will share, I'm like, say, I'm old enough to be your mother. I can humbly say, and even grandmother, I think, I can humbly say that I never suffered gender discrimination at any time in my life. I had advantages which perhaps even today only a very small percentage of women in our state today it had. I had very supportive, wise, broad-minded parents, a number of really impressive role models, most of them women. I was privileged to study in the best education institutions, and later, after I joined service and got married, I was blessed with a very supportive husband. And I hope you'll get such partners. And I hope the partners you have are also like that, supportive. And he has been my best friend since college. And the officers I worked with from the very start never patronized me and always accepted me as a colleague, equal in every way. Eccentrics are always there to make life more interesting, and that's natural. But for all you know, many of them have thought of me to be odd also. But overall, I had a very good relations with everyone I worked with, seniors, juniors, and not forgetting the honorable ministers. I give credit to our politicians. They were all gentlemen and always very respectful. Human beings are social creatures and we are conditioned by norms of society. So also as a public servant, we are conditioned with what is expected of us. As an IS officer, I underwent training for 2 years. We were not explicitly told that we must do this or that. I guess you just imbibe the ethos of service, and in that there is no male or female. It is a job to be done. And I like these quotes. This is by Mary Eugenia Charles. She was the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica. To me, equality is the important thing. I don't want preferences. I don't want to be preferred as a woman, but I want it acknowledged that I am a human being who has the capacity to what I have to do. And it doesn't matter whether I was born a man or woman, the work will be done that way. And Eleanor Roosevelt was a very strong social activist and also the wife of the then President of America. She said this: whatever jobs you are asked to do, at whatever level, do a good job because your reputation is your resume. And nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. And Madeleine Albright has said, there seems to be enough room in the world for mediocre men, but not for mediocre women. And we really have to work very, very hard. And that is a fact. Women have to always work harder to prove themselves. With the increased numbers now in the civil service, I hope the pressure to prove oneself has eased. Nevertheless, it gives you a sense of satisfaction when you do a job well, and you know that you have done of DCs in the photo. That was in 1986. The political assistant to the deputy commissioner gave me a backhanded compliment, and he said, "Mota nishina kam tulishe, kintu aji para nai," because I became emotional during the farewell program. And at my farewell in Kohima, I was awarded a similar compliment by the Dubashis. Maiki Holevi, Mota nishina kam tulishe. If that was today, I would have taken offense, but not that then, almost 40 years ago. You know, I genuinely believe that that was the manly way of articulating the appreciation, and I still remember it with a lot of joy. In my field posting as ADC, Peren, as DCs in Napoto and Kohima, and even as commandant village guards. I don't know whether you've heard of village guards. Village guards, they are the people at the village level who guard. You know, they are not really full police, but they are like community police. I never encountered any instance where I was disrespected for being a woman, despite all our cultural and traditional inhibitions. I give credit to the men for the way they respected authority, no matter that it was administered by a woman. I had wholehearted support everywhere, and I believe it depends a lot on one's own attitude and conduct. My experience in recent times, I was young one time ago, a responsible citizen, a public servant, and now a senior citizen and grandmother. And I think my generation has seen the most changes. I have four grandchildren, and three of them are girls. They are beautiful, enchanting miniature women of tomorrow. The oldest of them, when she was around 9 or 10, made these remarkable observations. She said, Atsa, why are there no four mothers, only four fathers? And why is there no story, only his history, his story? I was floored. I did not expect such a remark to be made, and I didn't have a ready comeback for her. I believe that such remarks were made on the basis of her observation of how the women in her life conduct themselves, and their exclusion appeared not normal to her. That is how far the mindset of today's children has evolved or developed. Remarkable women are not a new phenomenon, and they have always been with us, but their stories and skills have been overlooked amidst the necessities of housework, family, motherhood, and of course, the acceptance of patriarchy. Millions of women whose skills and courage have been lost along the way, stories untold and aspirations never realized. I think of my own strong and forward-looking grandmothers, both paternal and maternal. My so gifted, beautiful, loving, and courageous mother, and her sister, who made awesome and heartbreaking ways as a role model for many young women of my generation. And alas, my generation again did not take the time or trouble to record their stories when they were alive. I am sure there are similar stories in all your lives too. So let us not wait for our daughters, your daughters, my daughters, and granddaughters to experience similar regret in future. It would be so sad if a generation from now, another little girl asks her grandmother as to why there is no her story. Let us get down to drawing out whatever information we have of the women in our lives and have them recorded and shared. Madeleine Albright has said, there is a special place in hell for women who don't help other women. And Madeleine Albright referred to herself as, as the refugee girl from Central Europe, and she was the one who became America's first female Secretary of State. So let us not find ourselves in that place of hell. You have not only the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. You cannot make any useful contribution in life unless you do this. This is a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. I believe every one of us gathered here this morning belong to the privileged section of our society. It rests upon us to make the difference for the other women among us who need to be encouraged and helped to rise above prevailing conditions that restrict them from utilizing their innate talents and their skills for enhancing their lives and for the progress of the community at large. Let us all become role models wherever we are placed. Let us bring up our brothers and sisters and our children and grandchildren in a supportive environment, helping them to identify aptitudes and interests rather than stereotyping them on roles expected by social norms as male and female. Let us bring them up on the principles of equality and equity and on the belief that there is no bar for either women or men to do anything. At the same time, we must remember that God created us differently, male and female, with very special and unique characteristics which should not be lost. We should not lose sight of while striving for equality. Women can never be men, and neither can men be women. Finally, this has become a cliche, and I'm sure we have all heard it repeatedly, and forgive me for doing it again, but I must share what Madeleine Albright has said. Societies are more stable if women are politically and economically empowered. Let us resolve to work towards achieving this political and economic empowerment for the women of our state, for a better quality of life for everyone. May God bless all of us today and all the days to come. And once again, we're very happy Women's Day. I want you all, I hope you all will get hold of this book. It's very educative, very informative and very educative. It's the gender statistics of Nagaland. It gives you a lot of information. I hope that you all will get a copy of this. It's from the Directorate of Economics and Statistics. I don't know, maybe on the public domain also. But I brought it just to show you all that you should get a hold of this because it gives statistics of the men, women, that population ratio. They give the the birth and death thing of females and males. It's interesting to note that 0 to 1 birth, the death statistics, it's 0 for children. I mean, it amounts to almost 0 for women, girl child. But towards the age of up to I think 15 years, it's much higher. Then later on again, as they grow older, it comes down again. Men, as a male becomes higher. So these are, I think, things we should study. I mean, to say statistics are there for us to, go deeper to find out why is it so. And so, like for instance, education. Today, we have more girls or women in the higher education. I mean, fewer men. And another thing which I would like to share with you all is not to deny or decry what we should fight for women, but we must also remember that the men are also undergoing very serious change. Their role has undergone a sea change because earlier they were the providers, they were the protectors, they were the defenders. Today, they don't have that role. I mean, almost. I mean, no longer. So they have to remake themselves. And and alongside with that, we have the women doing so well, So naturally, that sense of insecurity, and you can't blame them for that. And we tend to forget them when we only look at ourselves. Together, we have to grow. And it's not because I have only sons. I have sons, but they're okay. But there are many families where today the boys are not doing so good. I mean, and there's so many programs for girls, promotion of girls. And I think even implementation of programs, we should implement it, I mean, not yours, the government, we should implement programs keeping in mind the condition prevailing in our society. Not just because the rest of India is doing it, we should do it. Because once we have an imbalance, like earlier we were saying that women didn't have anything, we're here, now we've reached here. Now if we're not careful, if the men go down, again you have an imbalanced society, and that is not good for any one of us. So actually, today we had a meeting with only women, but I think there should be a time when there should be an exchange of ideas, with the men, to tell them that we are not threatening you. We are not going to take away anything from you. There's so much to be done, How do we work together? How do we go together? I think that kind of interactive session should also be there. I would say Himali and who would again organize something like that, I mean, I don't know how responsive they would be, but I think it needs to be discussed because talking amongst ourselves all the time, this really doesn't, it imbalances, and I think women are definitely doing good. I'm so happy. I'm really happy that I met all of you all. It's so exciting to find out what you all are doing in your various things. I'm so amazed that you're an assistant professor. You look like you're still in college. That means you're a postgraduate. Oh my, just look at that. You're much old. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking us along with you. And I think this is what made everyone excited. In fact, a lot of them didn't know you were coming. And I'm sure as you have received the flyer, it did not mention the keynote speaker's name. Only few of us knew, and we wanted to keep the suspense. Thank you so much for traveling along with us and fueling the suspense that we had for you. And we want to also tell you that a lot of the women and our gentlemen here, they not only wanted to listen, and for those who know that you were coming, we thought of you very simply because, as you have said, it's true, we could have had are men joining in today's program, and we look forward to that. But there was a very simple intention behind, because as I do not know 80% of the women here in this room who have been invited, we actually divided our responsibilities where we invite friends and people that we know or we may not know but feel that they should be invited, and we waited for their confirmation. And likewise, this room was just for 30. We coordinated with Abduno and she said, Google, most of it till 30. Then from 30, it went up to another extra, and we were scratching our head. How do we now accommodate everyone in this room? We do not wish to miss out anyone. And we look forward to that gathering because, like I said in the beginning, today's need is going to decide the next bigger thing. And we're very positive about it because what you share, each one of you, where there's going to be an interactive session, will lead us to that big space. And it has to be done inclusively, collectively. And it is also with the intention why women alone is because in Nagaland, like rightly said, and I know it's an open secret and everybody agrees, that we tend to pull each other down, as women. And to have known through the introduction that so many of us in this room are doing something amazing, but we are very shy to tell what we're doing. We have that culture of even advertising or selling ourselves about our work. And it is with that intention that we felt that why not we just meet up, have a potluck lunch. Sorry, I didn't bring my lunch, so I hope you'll share with me. When I initially shared with ma'am about, okay, you just have to get a dish, and she said, you're asking the wrong person to get a dish, But I hope she has brought. But thank you so much for that, ma'am. All of us here, you're an inspiration to us. And we thought of you going back there is because many have not had the opportunity to hear you in this small, intimate space for which Atuno has shared that this space is for that intimate space of having a small gathering where we get to hear each other, listen to each other, get to know one another, and spend meaningful time together. And it is here that I think having you here itself is a success for us because it's not just the speech that you have shared. Everyone will agree we got a glimpse of your journey as a person, as a woman, as an officer, and as a representative of all of us. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward that during the interactive session, if you have any questions or a statement or a thought that you wish to share, please take that opportunity. With that note, may we all put our hands together in welcoming our next guest speaker, Nito Rio Achmi. She is, she's a new friend that I met through the initiative of the community radio where I took an interview of her. And I was following her in the social media and I was amazed that, oh my God, we have a Naga woman who is a bodybuilder, And I would also like to encourage you if you could teach us a pause or two, I think this should be a real practical session because this talks about confidence, it talks about, believing in yourself. And I am grateful that even though you were coming, you said yes to us and the time is yours. Nito, take it away.
You can stand here, you can sit, most welcome.
I'll just stand. Thank you so much, Gugu. And firstly, I'm not very comfortable when it comes to, public speaking and all. If you ask me to train you, I can train you from morning till evening. When it comes to, speaking in public, I'm not really good. So if I make little mistake here and there, just bear with me. And just want to thank you all for having me here. And I hope my story will inspire and bless you. So I was in the teaching profession for a decade. And at the same time, okay, let me just start how I started. Let me just start from where I started my fitness journey. I got married at the age of 30. So my husband was already into fitness, like he was already a fitness enthusiast. So when I got married very late, 30. So he started training me. I was not overweight or anything, but he just wanted me to have a fit lifestyle. So he started training me at home. Those days there were very few gyms in Nagaland, so we bought few equipments online, and then we made space, one room, and we set up the equipments, and he would train me every evening there. He was working at the same time I was teaching that time. So that's how, like he would show me videos, motivational videos, those fitness models working out, videos from YouTube, and, to motivate me. And I was not so motivated, so, like I tried every excuse not to work out. Yeah, and so he would train me every evening, and as for 1 year, he trained me at home. Then the next year, he got me admitted in a gym in Bermakiam. So it was not a very big gym, but I got admitted there, and then I started working out, and slowly, like I started seeing results. So as I started seeing results, my body changing, I was motivated, like I told my husband, maybe, like before I get old, maybe before I get old and wrinkly, one day, if I get an opportunity, I would like to compete, even if I don't win, just for the sake of experience. So 2018, I shifted my gym to City Gym, and then I saw a flyer that there's going to be a bodybuilding competition in Guwahati. So when I'm talking about bodybuilding, even in bodybuilding, there are different categories. Like for women, bodybuilding is there, physique is there. Bodybuilding is where the women are like really muscular, like men. They have bodies like men. But physique is there, then bikini is there, and then fitness model is there. So usually now I compete in the bikini division, since my body structure is more towards that. So during my first competition was in Guwahati, 2018. I did not have any coach, no mentors, nothing. I didn't even know, like I just wanted to compete just for experience. So I just followed some people on social media and checked out how they were posing and all those things, and not even a video, just pictures, and like I learned, I I practiced at home, and then my husband was the one who was taking care of my diet and everything, like what I should be eating, what I should be avoiding, and all that. And 2018, when I went to compete, before the bodybuilding show, like bodybuilders, they apply tan on their body before they go on the stage. So when my husband was applying the tan on my body, I was like, I looked up at my husband and I was like, what have I gotten myself into? I could not imagine me, going for this show. So, anyways, I went, and to my surprise, I won gold in my first competition. So after that, after I won that gold, it gave me that thing again, like it is so addictive, this sport. And, once you get addicted to this stage performance, like it was so addictive. So, I started working, after I came back home, I started working out harder. And then I wanted to compete again. So my husband and I had a choice, like there were different federations. Even in bodybuilding, there are different federations. IBBF, IFBB. So IFBB is the best in the world, actually. Not only in India, but it is the best in the world. So my husband was the one who told me, like, if you compete, you will compete with the best. Even if you lose, you will compete with the best and you will lose. So I chose to compete for IFBB. So 2018, in the month of December, there was another show, which is like a major Olympia. So when it comes to bodybuilding, like you have this, amateur Olympia is like the biggest stage. So it is an international stage where all international athletes come to compete. So for that, to go to another level, my husband, the knowledge that we have was not enough, for me to step on the stage. So there was one coach from Chandigarh. He saw me on social media and he said he will train me for free. So he coached me for free. He would give me my training program, my diet and everything. So he did that for free because he said like he sees potential in me. So he did that for free. And then I went, and it was my first competition. I had no posing coach, nothing. I just learned it on my own. And like I was really intimidated when I went there because there were people who were competing on the stage have been competing 4 or 5 years. And that was my second competition. I made it only to the finals. I did not win a title that year. But and when I came back here, after the competition, my pictures were on the newspaper and that kind of thing. But like there were people who supported me, who were happy for me, but there were also people who called me names, made fun of me, and that kind of stuff. So like that I'm not just a woman, but I'm a mother, and wearing a two-piece bikini and standing on stage showing off your body, people talk. So at one point of time, like I didn't want to go out also, like people, I was like, what will people think, like if they see my face, But my husband was the one who reminded me, and I'm also very thankful, like to my pastors and to my church who have put that word of God inside me. My husband would remind me, no matter what people say, you are a child of the Most High God, and that is your identity, not what people call you. People cannot label you. And that really, like, that really put me back in my place. And I was like, yeah, that's right. No matter what, if I go up on the stage, I'm wearing a two-piece bikini, but I'm not going there to show. The judges are not standing there and judging me and giving me a medal depending on how hot I look or how sexy I look, but they're looking at my body proportions, the muscle, my posing, the package that I bring on stage, So I started working out, and during that time I was still teaching. So after that, COVID hit. I was planning for another show, but COVID hit. So that was the time I resigned from my job. Also, I felt like, I'm good at this. I'm good in this, and I want to take this up as a career. So I resigned my job from teaching, and I did my certification in diet and nutrition, and I did my certification in weight loss. So I'm a weight loss expert. Plus, I did my fitness, personal fitness training certificate and all that. And then even my husband did his certifications on novice training and intermittent fasting and all that. And then it was there in my heart, like to open a gym, to give out to people, especially for women, like after they get married, they ignore, like they don't take care of themselves anymore. So it was in my heart, like I think it's always been in my heart, to open a gym. And so I told my husband, let's just do this. And my husband also was not working at that time, and I resigned from my job. So, but we had financial problems, so my husband was like, we don't have the money. Let's just start, with what we have, So my husband, he sold off his car, and my jewelries I had, like, I don't need these jewelries, I can always buy them again. So I sold off all my jewelry, and my husband, he sold off his bike, his car, and we just bought some equipments, and then we stepped out in faith, and we opened a small gym, which was, even with all that money, it was not enough. But then thankfully, like, I'm so thankful to God. I have like family who are very supportive. So my sister-in-law, who lives in the US, she blessed us with some money, and then she helped us. So that's how we started Elite Strength Gym, and then which is located in Kevijau. And then after that, last year I went, I did 4 shows. Last year I did 4 shows. One show was in West Bengal where I won bronze, which was a warm-up show for me actually. I wanted to compete. That was not the main show that I was targeting, but just, for me to get back my confidence and, to perfect my posing. And so it was a warm-up show for me. So I went there. I got bronze from here, and that's where I met my coach, my new coach. He's from Bengal. So after I came back, I started coaching under him, and under his coaching, I I won the nationals in women's bikini overall champion. And after that, again, I competed in UIBFF where I won my professional card as a bikini athlete. And then after that show, again, I competed in another show, Sheru Classic, which is in Delhi. So there, I made it through top 6 only. I was able to make it till top 6 only. And right now, my goal is to win a professional card, IFBB Pro card. I already have a Pro card from UIBFF, but nothing like winning a Pro card from IFBB Federation. So I'm preparing right now for my next show, which will be in October. And there have been a lot of challenges. It is not easy, you have to wake up when you feel sleepy, get your cardio done, get your workout done, drop your son to school, cook food. I'm sure all of you can relate, mostly mothers, all of you can relate, but if you want something, you just have to go the extra mile. You just have to be willing to do things that people are not willing to do. So during my prep time, what I do is I prep my meal for 1 week and I keep it. I cut all the vegetables, everything, arrange everything, my protein, veggies, everything in macros. I calculate everything and I keep it in the fridge. And then, that way it's easier because no matter how hard you train, if your diet is not in order, you can never out-train a bad diet. So diet is very important. And then for those who are willing to lose weight or gain muscle, in anything, your diet is so important. And then another thing, I do my posing practice. Till now, I don't have a posing coach. I do my own posing. I learn and so I practice. I don't get time in the daytime, so at night, around after we close down the gym, after we have had dinner, and after I put my son to sleep, I wear my heels and I pose. I practice posing for 1-2 hours. My husband would pretend he's the judge, and, and he would tell me, "Okay, ladies, back pose." So I'll do the back pose. Okay. Trunk number 22, switch place with trunk number 33, and I would do that. So we do it over and over and over again, before the real day, So that's that, and I'm really thankful to God that I have a very supportive husband. If it was not for him, for his support, I would not be where I am, and I would have not been able to achieve what I have achieved. So that's that, and thank you so much. I hope my story blessed you, or maybe it inspired you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole. And I'm sure tonight the ladies will try their best, taking the advice from you and from their husband. For those who have their husbands, for the single ladies, you're on your own. Thank you. And I'm sure this room is already lighted up, and now the room is open for interaction. So you've heard Membano, you have heard from our dear friend Nicole. Is there any thought that is going on in your mind in connection to what they have shared? The space is open. We'll take about 5 minutes or 10 minutes here, would encourage you to please, a statement, a thought, something that you would like to add on. The space is now. I'll pass on this mic, whoever raises their hand, and I'll give it to you. Please don't forget to say your name. Yes.
My name is Kiwi. I don't need the microphone. I just want to appreciate you so much, your story, and especially the bit where people just say stuff. And I think, it's actually the women that are recycling the gossip pool, and we really needed to stop. And so amazing that you just rose above that. And, because sometimes we just let what other people say about us define who we are. And so amazing. I'm so impressed. Well done. Well done. And just to say this about my aunt, Ma'am is my aunt. So she was busy, traveling, and she talked about Zunoboto. We actually went with her to Zunoboto. We stayed with you over there. And so even though she was busy running office, she always made time for us. We were always at her house for sleepovers. She would always make sure we had good food. She would hang out with us at meals. So it wasn't like she was absent. She was there in office, but also she was a very present adult in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevi. And yes, Kevi is also my cousin. Let me also add that. And she's also my aunt. Altuno is our cousin. Yes, so it's a whole bunch of family here. Yes. Yeah. Anyone else? Please take this opportunity. You want to express your happiness, anything. Are you happy?
Yes. I must make an observation that
yes.
In recent times, when you have gatherings, it's only the women who ask questions. Of course, I've not seen many, but the most recent was Shashi Thakur's interactive session. There's only the women who asked questions. It was he who had to say, give at least an opportunity to do it. No, and actually the other day also, I was on the WhatsApp or whatever it was. There was an interview being conducted by the NDTV with two of the contesting candidates and some young people. And there again, it was only the girls. They were young girls, and it was very interesting that they asked questions relating to conditions affecting us, like say traffic jams. How do we control that? Then the other one was about what was the other one? But two, three issues which are very relevant. There was one guy who spoke. I mean, I'm not going to decry anything that he did, but then our men always tend to go back to the national movement, settlement. This young man again, what they asked was again related to settlement, whereas the ladies were talking about current requirements. What will you do as a elected member? What will you do? That kind of a thing. So it's interesting. That actually the confidence of young women really amazing. I mean, it's really amazing. And today, everyone is so articulate, and I'm sure you're all doing well in your respective area of work, and such a diverse, group. And actually, I want to request you all, why don't you join up with, we have two societies, okay? One is the care for children affected by AIDS. That is one society. Then the other society is Spastic Society. The members there, we are not very proactive now, we are all old. So we need young minds, we need younger, more active members. There's one of you all, I think, said you are working with the HIV AIDS. Are you Prodigal Home. Me also. I'm going to say, Ella should give us some names of some young we can recruit as members, because we can't cover, because like say for the Kaba, that is the children affected by AIDS, we have adopted one village in Noklak, Pangsha Old. Now we go there, we try to go there twice a year, but it's not possible for us to go. It's getting more and more difficult for us, and we need younger people. And it'd be very good if after this we can have some people who may be interested, who may like to join up.
Yes, please.
I don't need the mic.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think I'm fine. As said, my name is Azul and I'm from Sisterhood Network. This is my second time hearing Ma'am Bano's speech, and what I hear is that she's very intellectual, but she comes to a very realistic level. And today also you said the same thing because you know after all, we are all living here. We are not up here. And how she brings it to a reality and how we need to be part of that. And when we are talking about International Women's Day, I also remember a few years back, I think it was 5 years back, we had this International Women's Day in a particular place where we call the men. Because we told them that as a women, we know what we need to do. We need your support. And they were so surprised to see that, having them. So I think inclusive is what we need because we are all empowered, I should say. We are all empowered. It's just that we need an opportunity. So I think that is something that you have addressed. So thank you so much, ma'am, for that. And Nicono and ma'am, I think both of you have also shared how we need supportive partners. How important it is to have male support in our cause because as women we should also understand that it should not be us alone, but we need men. And whatever we do in our family, in our society, or in our organization, or bigger picture as in politics, without men we cannot do anything. So I think that inclusive should be there in everything, and then I think you have brought it so beautifully with your own examples. So thank you so much for that. Yes, just.
Yeah, Nika, I must appreciate. You must tell your husband that kudos to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, I think really, we would like to meet him.
Just one or two thoughts. Yeah. Ma'am, what you said regarding building up our men, our young boys, I really, I think this is something really important. We really need to dwell on. Men and women, we have to travel together. Even if our women is excelling, if our men are left behind, then I think that's totally wrong again. Because when we look at the situation, even in schools, and like you rightly say, whether in school, in college, or everywhere, every level of work that we observe, women are going far ahead. And if our men, our boys are left behind, I think it should be a very distorted society. So I think at the same time fighting for women and women empowerment role, I think we need to also look back and see how do we rise up together, not stepping on each other, but how to rise up. That's what we need. Because we also work with women and children and all that. I observe that our boys and men, they really need a lot of attention.
Yeah.
It's not kidding. We are neglecting them a lot. Always talking about women and girls, and men are somehow feeling left out. And somehow I think one day we have to talk about empowerment of men, re-empowerment of men. This is what I also observe. I think that's a serious part that we really need to. And Nico, I have watched some of your videos, okay? And it's so nice. Not because I want to win my voice. Somehow because I saw Stella's husband, he's also into the bodybuilding and all that. So I just took interest because he's a very close friend. So I just used to watch, Then one fine day I saw your YouTube channel, your husband giving some talks, and I saw you and it's so nice. So I was so excited to see you. Google had said, need more views, but he really clicked who was there. When you came in the shop, I thought, oh, she's the one. So I'm so really happy to see you because in this day and age, our young boys and girls, I think really need to think about living a fit lifestyle. We have become really lazy. We're not taking care, whether it is to do with boys or even when you're just 20 plus and you're not petty mother or no physical exercise. We're so very we're neglecting our health, physical, mental. We have become so lazy and so we just want to eat and sleep and enjoy life. We are not good at all. So I think we really need to impress our children, right from the Sunday school, from the church, from the schools, everywhere. I think we need to really talk to our boys and girls about keeping ourselves fit. Not to compete like you, but I think all of us, yes, we may have some girls and boys who may want to be in your area of work. Definitely we need to promote them. But whether we're in that bodybuilding industry, business or not, we have to keep ourselves fit. And I think our younger generation really need to have this message. We really need to keep ourselves fit.
So thank you so much for that. I'm very much inspired by you. So next time I make a video to you. To make myself a little taller. If there's a budget for that, I'll join you for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Actually, talking about boys, this morning I was just thinking, because women are breaking part, new things we are doing. I mean, we are, like for instance, that young girl, the guitarist,
Yes.
she's really become very, very making news and all that. Now for men, I feel that, everybody expects that men should do. I mean, they are expected to perform. And therefore, when they do well also, somehow I think it's not highlighted. Women are getting all the limelight. So I mean, I may be wrong, but I'm sure our boys also, I'm sure they're doing well, maybe in sports, maybe in some various fields they must be performing well. Only thing is they're not getting the kind of publicity that women are getting, because women are first timers, and therefore they are all, they're all being, the accolades are going to all of them. Now, actually, nothing to do with party, nothing to do with the political parties, but what was it? The manifesto of the BJP. They're very good at advertisement, and they brought out a booklet which was very interesting, very very well made. But there was one item which disturbed me a little bit, because they said that they'll give free education to the girl child from KG to, I think, postgraduate or something like that. Because if they do that, they're going to create a total imbalance in our society, because as it is, girls are already doing very well in the educational line. In higher education, there are many more women than they're doing research, postgraduate and PhD. There are many more girls than boys. Now, if it introduced such a program, I mean, it would create an imbalance in our society. I mean, that particular one made me feel a little concerned. And like I say, we need to bring up both the girls and boys together. No? There are too many programs for girls. I feel, because I think our girls are already doing very well. Now the boys are becoming retarded. I'm sorry, I'm retarded. Bring back words.
That's the reality.
Friends, please, our young man here shouldn't feel discouraged, okay? The fact that you have come today is very good. Shows how brave you are. My husband was the special guest. I mean, he had gone for Theosino's book release, and he went to, it was in the arts college, Kohima Arts College. He went there, and the hall was full of women, and everyone. I know, I'm very articulate, they are all assistant professors and professors and things, and I said, I feel very intimidated. Such erudite, learned women, so I appreciate you. Right.
I'm extremely overmotivated and very nervous because the aura of all these so many beautiful ladies and wonderful, inspiring people here, and I'm the girl, I'm the woman who never I don't get nervous much, but because of the aura, I'm getting very nervous anyway. Regarding about the gender, since I'm from psychological background, being a psychologist, what I see in our society is we suppress so much to a boy, between the boy and girl, the emotions. Example, you are a boy, you should not cry. You are a girl, you should not get angry. Like that, no? The tradition, the culture belief makes so much difference between girls and boys. That's why when they grow up, they can't be who they are. I was working as an academic counselor in Kendra Vidyala for a period of 5-6 years in though it's in Nagaland, the school environment, 80 to 90% are from mainland Indians. And when I work in St. Mary, most of the students are from Naga. So I see lots of differences between the children's behavior also. Example, if a teacher happens to ask a question to the students in KB, usually the students they don't even allow to, complete the question. They want to, whether it's right or wrong, they will express it. They want to say it. But in Nagaland, most of the students are like, the one who knows also, they pretend as if they know everything. Like, very stubborn, and like they don't express it. So like the teacher get confused whether the students are really learning or not. And that is the mistake of, I think, most of girl as a woman, as a mother at home. We can educate our children in that way. Like, you should not, because I see that even in a church leader, suppose like a reverend son, maybe he wants his son to be a very manly, but he grow up like a little girly type because of his personality. But you are a man, you should not be like that. No, suppressing so much children's emotion, and it affects their overall well-being when they reach their adolescence period, especially their adolescence, and which is affecting their overall well-being of their mental health also. And I think this is the reason why even their emotions are becoming very sensitive. They're emotionally also they're becoming very sensitive because they could not able to express who they are, because adolescence period is a period where their social life is very important for a human phases in life. And I think there is so much to talk about when I share about all these things. But we as a woman, as a girl, I'm also a rule breaker in my family. Like, I'm very authoritative parenting, and where my brothers are also very strict and controlling. But I grow up very tomboy, very rough, and I'm a rule breaker. And whereas my other sisters are very quiet, very introvert, and they do lots of comparing. Like those days, I don't have any grudges now, and I'm thankful they accept me as I am now. But when I realized how I grow up in my family and how I change the family system, the culture system of the belief, I feel like there's something so much to do. And women as a woman, as a girl, we can do that. We can bring the change in our society. Thank you.
It's left to all of you all to make the change, because parents were also brought up in a different kind of environment. I mean, we can't blame, because they were used to certain things, they were brought up and they continued with that. But now we are all enlightened. We should be able to bring up our children without stereotyping them. We need to let them develop naturally, encouraging them and also trying to find out what are their aptitudes. Like for instance, there are some boys who they really like cooking, okay? Now we say that they try to suppress that, saying boys are not supposed to do. But in the world, the best chefs are men. If you think about it, or even fashion designers, men are the best. I mean, it depends on the aptitude, not because you are male or female. So I think that's something, I think responsibility rests with all of us. Actually, I'll tell you something. My experience of my grandmothers, okay, I have such high regard for them, and my memory of them is that they really I really appreciate them. But the other day I was sharing it with my elder sister. I have two sisters who are older than me, and my older sister is about 5 years older than me. She had a totally different opinion of the same grandmother. And she said, how can you say that she's a role model? She was horrible. She was horrible. And the thing is, I happened to be the youngest, so I didn't have that much time with them. I mean, I didn't live with them, whatever. But she was the eldest, and therefore, when my parents were in Twinsang, she probably lived with my grandmother, she and my brother. So I believe she said she used to harp all the time that the boy, you're a girl, And I do remember that she made a very horrible remark. She said that.
Anyone else would like to say something? Yes, please.
My name is Roxanne. So prior to working in the Pollution Control Board, initial 3 years of my professional career, I worked in grassroots at the grassroots level. So I worked with women, self-help groups, men, village councils, and all that. What ma'am was saying regarding, men's values that are being lost over the course of years because women are being promoted in various ways. I've also noticed when I was working with the village level, working with self-help groups, when men would also be a part of the voting, because when we have a SG group meeting, village level meeting, the village council representatives are also there. They always said this to me like, "Mutahan bi self-help group kan lagi ho," like that. Now, because they know that funds are coming in, resources are coming in, they're also getting exposure because we're taking the women out from the village for educational trips as well. Um, exchanging knowledge with other villages and all that. So they used to always express that to me, and I really resonated with what you said. So if there is anyone here working with the village level communities, I really encourage you all to also take into perspective of what the men might want, because there are also young men in the villages who are unemployed. They're not getting opportunities, but they have the skills, so they can be used in various ways. And if you have an organization or if you're making a project proposal, because right now I'm very out of touch with the grassroots at the moment, I would really like to encourage everyone to take that into consideration as well. When I was working in PEG for 1 year, one very good thing that I've experienced was that there are certain villages where they also have women in the village council level, in the decision making level. So it was very encouraging for me to see that, because in our community, our area, we rarely see that. It's such an inspiring thing, and I think that it's something disappointing, but also an eye-opening experience for me, and I really appreciated their people because of that, and it is because of the men as well for being very welcoming to the idea of having a woman in their decision-making work. So that was just the experience that I wanted to share. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, everyone who took the time to share. And of course, during the meals, please sit and meet and share whatever you feel that, oh, yes, how can I say no to? Yes.
Okay, I didn't want, since we were talking about gender issues and all, no? But I just wanted to share this, since it's not gender issue, but our topic today is about digitalization. So we did a survey, an all India survey, and in 2018, 19, 20 like that. But in 2020, that was during the pandemic and all, no? So we found that in Nagaland, the availability of smartphones in the household, like in 2018, it was 50%, and in 2020, it had gone up to 81%. That's a lot, and this is in the rural areas. Then again, on the same numbers, if you break it up, in 2018, the children who were in this is to do with we go to households with children, no? So where the child attends a government school in 2018, the number of households with smartphones was 36%. Government schools, children who go to government schools. Then in 2020, the children who go to government schools, the households which have a smartphone has risen to 70%. So that's a very big number, no? So a lot of implications there. Of course, digitization and expenses. So in rural areas, they have to come up with money to buy these phones, and they have to come up with it because that's the only tool for the child to, they don't have access to education. But the other thing is, as Madam has said earlier, is that just see now that level of children, right down from the very small primary section, they are getting very familiar with digitalization. So, food for thought for that. It's just jumped, no?
Yeah, actually, I want to tell you something again about the statistics in this book. It's only because of the digitization of information. Now today we are able to quantify the value of women's contribution to the economy because of collecting statistics and bringing it here. So I've seen that, like I was saying, now we know the statistics of the participation of women in the private sector. That women are doing better. They are going up. Their performance is going up. The men's is remaining static in the private sector. So that information is now available. Then there's another information, this it's not here, it's in the Nagaland State Rural Livelihood Mission. In their statistics, they are now working on the earnings of women, annual earnings, 25,000, 50,000, 1 lakh, and it's very interesting. The number of women earning more than 1 lakh, that is her own earning. The number is quite impressive. And the thing is, earlier, men were not willing for their women to go out to work, to earn. But today, because they are bringing earnings, and they are quite happy with when the money comes in. But this is again a cultural kind of change, and without any kind of confrontation or anything, it's gradually changing. And in fact, they encourage the women to work. Now, another change which I saw in Twensang near Putur village was when I was coming back from Pangsha, I saw these women sitting on the roadside breaking stone. Now, that is something very different. I mean, I've never seen women breaking stones. So I had asked Nikki Sonma, she was that time the EAC in Twensang. I said, just find out why do they break stones and not go to the because they have to sit the whole day. It's not good for health also sitting there and just breaking stones. So she said that she went, she asked them why do they participate in that kind of an employment when they can go to the kid. He said that the earnings from the field, they have to give so much work and the return is not commensurate to the work that you do. Whereas stone breaking, it's men and women get the same amount, provided you are able to, let's say a bucket. Depending on the bucket thing of stones broken, you're paid. So that they find that much more profitable. And women are very patient that way. You sit down and keep doing this. I mean, say, that way. So these are changes that are coming about, and I think, that's what I'm saying. This thing of we are talking about the digital, the use of digital information. That we should also educate our women and also the men. Let them know that the women are contributing quite impressively to the economy, even at the grassroots level. And they say MNRGA, that's the Rural Employment Scheme. Majority of the larger portion of the larger number of heads of the households are men. I mean, it's I suppose it's natural. But actually, although the man is shown as the head of the family, the actual work, I think, my impression, I may be wrong, but I think the work is done by the women in the family. But unfortunately, the earnings go into the man's account. Because it's the direct beneficiary transfer, whatever it is. No? So these are things which I think women should learn more and also see that, we get what we deserve to get. The wages, it's still, I'm very sure we are still getting less. I mean, women are still getting less. I hope things will change because under the MNRGA, we claim that men and women, they earn the same amount. But not because we think that the women deserve. We do it because more money comes in. Whereas the women are still earning less. So at least parity of wages, that we should see that women get their right due, right? Because like for instance, the men will come up and say, we do the heavier work. We dig the thing, we do this, we do this. But the thing is, okay, that is fine. But the women do the more tedious work of, weeding and all the small things would contribute towards the produce of the agriculture produce. So that way, we need to educate our people. I mean, it's not that they do it intentionally, but awareness is not there. You need to open their mind to think, no? So this is also another. So I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And for those who have taken out time and shared your heart out, we actually would like to acknowledge Nito with a bouquet. May I request ma'am to please give it away to Nito. Can you all put our hands together?
Yes. They'll give you, I think. You don't have to. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Chiro can take it for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now is the time where we would have appreciation letter. It's already 1 o'clock. Our tummies are growling. Mine for sure, and I'm sure the rest. I've heard a lot of people didn't eat food because they want to eat food here. So, but I think we've had a meaningful time. It's just a little bit. This is just the gist of our gathering, and we look forward to more of this. And we want to encourage you to please make use of this place. This is an amazing place that we wish to actually encourage our women to come for small gatherings. As you can see, it can accommodate, I think we are about 38 of us here, and we can actually also have beanbags in between, there are different ways of doing it. This is a little rate quotations that you will find at the reception. You can have a fair idea how much this place costs. They have a wonderful library here. It's amazing to also know that they already have about 100 plus members who are using the facility of this place. So it is itself a success in that sense. It's quiet, you have your own personal space to read. Children have their space to read, and the books are amazing. So please make sure you get a heavy purse the next time you come. But please also have a look around. Atuno shared a little story, and may I have a permission? In fact, I was encouraging her to share herself, but she said, since I'm speaking, her whole thing, it says mindful, and she has taken all the small details that will make a person, when they come in, feel mindful and also find a sense of belonging. And as the space looks like, and the way the setting was done initially, it was like a round, and we of course added the chairs, but it is also to have meaningful conversation, get intimate, by getting to know one another, really listen and spend time together as a family and as friends and as colleagues. So that is the intention of this place, and of course, a lot of reading. KV has done a book reading here, and this is something that we really look forward to having more of such readings happening among us women, because I'm a very poor reader. I collect books, the first page, I'm already snoring. I don't know how many of you will be joining me in that, but I love listening, to audios, book readings. And I hope you make use of this place. And it's very pocket friendly. I won't disclose the amount, everything is there in the quotation. Please do drop at the reception to get the contact numbers and make use of this place. So what is appreciation letter? As much as today we have listened to our speakers, and it has also brought a sense of appreciation and appreciation to happen in this process. This appreciation letter is a time where we stop, pause, and reflect, and write a word for the person, whom you wish to express. And there are some A4 sheets here, and there is a pin that we would be pinning behind the person. So a pin, a pen, and an A4 sheet will be given. Music is the background, and you will move around and collect as much as you want. A nice word, please write it down for that person that you would like to express your goodwill, a motivational quote, or anything nice that you would like to express to that person. So may we have that moment, and then after that, we will have a cake cutting. So there's a cake for all of us, all right? And it's been baked by a very dear friend, Billy V. She's a baker. She made brooch prints for us that you have. For those who are lucky who came first, okay, in the room. And she made this herself, and we're very thankful to her for her contribution. And for those who want to order or make things, let's make business for her, yeah? I think a lot of the women in this room are so creative, very creative, and the idea is to connect, to network, and let's build businesses for one another. I think we shouldn't feel shy to sell ourselves, in the right light. Likewise, the cake and the brooch. We would also, of course, in the vote of thanks, she would be expressing. But thank you so much for saying yes when we had sent out invitation. This time, the style is a little different. I'm sure some of you may have found out that, oh, this is not those typical invitation that we get. We sent out the invitation only in our network because we knew the space was small and we wanted to have a very small group. And we waited for people to say yes. A lot of people said yes and later said, hey, we can't make it, and they apologized. But it created more rooms for us to invite other women, who were around Dimapur. And we felt that this is where we get to also learn how to be assertive in our yeses and nos, and also learn to get back and follow up and say that, thank you so much for the invitation, but please accept my apology. So we're also creating that healthy communication within women. How do we communicate better and learn from each other? Even as a team member, Imali and Vilivi, we work together for the community radio, but this is the first time we've also teamed up to work together as individuals, but also as a team. And we're very grateful to all of you in our friends list who said yes, and you've made this possible. So appreciation letter, may we start? I'm going to request my team friends to please help me out. We would be giving you out the A4 sheets, and there is paper pin in this bag. For those who don't have a pen, we can. Yeah, so just take the sheets, I'll tell you what to do, yeah? Are you all hungry? Okay. Just make sure that when you are pinning, you don't prick the person. So be gentle. Yes. So an A4 sheet each. Pens are coming around. Just keep the. Yeah. You can first take a pen.
She's like, you're not alright. I'm dying of cold. So good to see you. Sorry, I feel so much. So happy. Yeah. You're giving it so good to catch up after so long. So again, I don't know. I want to talk to you. My lunch that I'm giving. Lunch is the
The pins are moving around, please pass it. Everybody got a pin? Who didn't get the pin, please raise your hand, we can give it to you. Shuro, as a lawyer. Okay, so we can press the person inside outside here. All right, so I want you to all stand and find the person to help you pin behind your back. Oh, I think you're pin. Yes, Kamali has. So help the person next to you to pin it behind. Okay, so yeah. So you help out one another? Yes. What? Yeah, yeah. No. You need to write behind. As you move around, go behind and write. Yes. Okay, just wait for the instruction. Just pin the paper behind the person, help them out, and I will tell you what to do. Everybody got themselves pinned? Everybody got a pen? Yes. See? Yeah, it's good. Shiro, can you please help out in the pen? Yes. You have a pen? Okay. So everybody gets to write something. You get to write for others too. Oh, okay. All right. So now you can move around. Yes, write as many as you want. Reach out to as many as people. Write a word, anything that you would like to write for that person. Yes, so you can even fill that page up. No, you go to all the people that you can reach out to. Search the person. You just go to anyone and write behind them. Yes. No? You just take a pen and move behind people and write. So you go to another place. Yes, you move around. Yes. Yeah. Just write a word of encouragement. Yes. Move as fast as you can. If you reach out to 30 people, then you get 30 sentences or words of encouragement. Reach out to as much as people as you can.
Remember what he Yeah, my husband. Oh yeah. I mean, there's no such issues. They always tell me.
Write as much as you can. Get as much as you can.
Yes, right.
So I know. So what this appreciation letter helps and reminds us is that any time of the day or where you need to be inspired and reminded, you open this appreciation letter. And you know whom to call, or perhaps just sit down for a coffee or meet up with that person, and that's how friendship builds. Hero, please move around, my friend. Please move around. It not necessarily has to be in a chain. You know, you can reach out to whoever white sheep you can see. Just move around. If your A4 sheet, the first page is covered, you can flip the other side and pin it back. I think even our music is hungry. Move around, get hold of anyone's bag, you know.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, it is. You can actually frame it and keep it as a reminder. Enough space.
However you like to listen, there can be a plan for you. Your sounds with them and to share it love with people under the same. Join the Gender Solo, which will and get a discount as a student while enjoying online and free music listening. Get one with the premium. Tap the banner to learn more.
Can I just use pen?
You can actually go to people and say, please write for me. What was the color?
Black.
How are you, ladies? Did you get enough? Did you give enough?
There's not much space
If you find someone's page still empty, please fill it for them.
Thank you, Cheryl.
If you find someone's page has still space, please fill it for them.
Only young men around.
The lone tiger, I guess. Welcome to my life.
Yes. So ladies, if you're done, you can help one another in taking out the sheet and you can read what you have received. And we can settle down. And if we can also be mindful of the pins, we don't want to have anyone ending up getting pricked. So, can we all settle down, please? Can we all be seated? We're not done yet. Okay, please settle down, help one another, but please also be mindful of the pins that we have. We don't want to leave it behind and somebody gets hurt. You could help us put it back. Yes, please give it back. Maybe our team members can help in collecting. Please take a moment to soak in what you have received in your beautiful white sheet. It is no more empty. It is with words of affirmation, that will remind you, to encourage you, and to help you who you are. Shiro, can you please help us switch off the music, please? Right. So how are you all feeling? Good? Just good?
I'm feeling
I think there should be more. Yes. Well, with the food, I'm sure it will be way beyond that. We want to take this moment to welcome Avitoli to please come because she has something to give us away, as she has shared earlier that she has created something and it's something that we all use, right? And we can't do without that. May I welcome Avitoli to please come and share a minute of what this product is all about. And it is on that note. And after which, I would like to also ask our team member also to get the cake ready. And Ma'am Kakili is here. She's the secretary of the women ministry from the Western Sumi Baptist Church. And she will be doing the closing of her, whatever she has experienced here, but at the same time, a thought that with that note we would be closing. So we're very grateful that you said yes, ma'am, and being in the midst of us, and we're blessed to have you. On that note, Avi.
Thank you, Lulu. Good afternoon once again. Although now I'm nervous. I'm not very into public speaking, and for the past 5 years I've been holed up inside my office working. So this is extremely a very, very fresh crowd for me as well.
So earlier I mentioned a bit about the product that we've come up with, that is body tip. Few of you must have come across the product in the market, and it must be new. So it is a sanitary pads. So like the journey is very long, and it will take me an entire day to come to tell you an entire story, but just indulge me for just 2-3 minutes. I am a dietitian by profession. So after working in Delhi or Dehradun for years, I wanted to come back and leave a strong impact as a dietitian. But reality hit me when I reached here that the pay is very, very horrible. In Hindi, jahan pe bhi jao, everywhere people come and tell you, give me some diet chart, but it doesn't work that way. And I was I trained in clinical nutrition as a renal dietitian, so I wanted to work specifically for that, but there is no such platform, and it may take another 10 to 20 years. So I couldn't put myself in danger, like, this lifestyle and all the things that we need to keep up in today's world. It was not possible, so I started a small retail pharmacy, and I did my own daily clinic from there. Then slowly, I wanted to become an entrepreneur, so I started doing in Nagaland. It's still the profession is still given as wholesale wala, but but no, I wanted to do it in a little bit of stylish. Naga people are very talented in that manner. So, on a serious note, I went into a distribution dealer. So I'm a medical merchandiser. That has been really, really good to me. I feel I worked hard, and he made me, like I felt like I was thrown among the wolves because there were Marwaris and all the men occupied. It is a completely men's world. And from here, I wanted to contribute earlier when we were talking about men. Young men are too good. They have lost their ways. We need to promote them. But men in their 40s and 50s now, oh my God, like that's not an enmity towards them. I know that after 5 years, I know that we need men to progress. We can't do it alone. But they also need to take us seriously. They are supportive, but they are supportive as long as you are moving in their steps. When you try to cross that border, then they will tell you that whose daughter are you, or things like that. No, we shouldn't take it at heart. I've never taken it to my heart, and I thought, like, if I'm thrown with the wolves, then let me become the leader. So my business progressed by the grace of God. I still have a long way to go, but that's a pharmaceutical business which takes up a lot of time. So during the time, I lost in touch with the outside world, and I thought that if I make some profit, let me do something that can connect me with the rest of the world, and I wanted to give back. Although the pharmaceutical itself is like giving back to the society in terms of your products and everything, but still. So when we as a team, we sat down, and like I said, my team is also full of men. So I've also known men from higher level to the driver level, and like I said, the younger males, they are finding it hard because they are never taught at home also some basic things, and they're very educated and well settled men. They are not really serious about these women issues. They may pretend to be serious, but I don't think they take it serious. Like they don't interact like this when they sit down. Like Matt has mentioned, it's all about national movement or that movement, all those things. So when they really start sitting down and talk about us women and take us seriously, then we will progress together. So I've always told them that, like, I made myself know about the business that I'm doing, about the profits, how I'm contributing to the economy of Nagaland and things like that. So in that manner, we thought that sanitary pads would be a very good one. We did introduce some brands in the medical field, but that was only contributing to the medical only. So now as a society, sanitary pads, if you take it, then there's a lot of competition, I would say. It's not easy, especially in India. Indian market is a horrible market. Those who are in exports and imports business, they would know that you have to give a good product and at a very cheap rate. And Indians are so cheap that like they don't see the quality. But in places like Nagaland, which can be quite tricky, you need to have a good product, but our earnings are too less as per other states, so people cannot afford. So it took me almost 2 years, we sat down to come up with this positive sanitary pad. And first, the team members, like most of them were men, so we already invested the money, so they were like, just jaake kharid ke dal dena, like, it's available everywhere. But I didn't want to do that. That's where our today's team comes into. Taking this technology and innovative ways to come up with a product that is very good. So we have worked hard with the product developers to come up with this product. We have not developed it in Nagaland. We don't have that kind of setup in Nagaland, and it is not a wood pulp or some semi or manual sanitary pad. We have made it from very developed and well-researched labs, and we have come up with these two products. We'll be giving out some samples today. That is the pink one and the green one, just to differentiate between the two. So mostly we are marketing the green, that is the premium section. It's made of bamboo charcoal. If I tell you in short, then bamboo charcoal has has a good negative ionic properties. If you go into, like, search them on the Google, like we have mentioned, everything is on Google, you will find that it has various antibacterial properties, and it also absorbs the blood very, at a very higher capacity than the rest of the pads. So we have made the top sheet, back sheet, and the middle layers, everything in considering the working woman especially. We have to work from 9 to 5, or say, like, people like us, most of us, we work from 7 to 10 o'clock at night also. So we need good sanitary pads. So today I would like all of you to please buy it. I know you are going out there and buying some expensive ones as well as cheaper ones also. So if you have tried those pads that you haven't heard, then, like, I am someone who sat down with my team and we made the pads. So please buy it, even if you don't like it, just try it once, and I'm sure that you will find it very helpful. And we should keep the economy here, and sanitary pad is such a big market. If we all start buying somebody, like from a company like your local company, then we will be able to keep our money. We will keep our money from traveling to the rest of the world. So please buy it once. We have given out one flyer. Some informations are there, but we can still find more information in our website, that is www.positive.com, and we have an Instagram page, Positive India. Whenever you have any problems, or your menstrual problems, or you can't find the products in town, then please don't hesitate to get back to us, and our team will reach out to you. And like I said, this is a very new product for me, and I am very thankful to the Hills FM for giving me this platform, because in Nagaland we don't have such kind of platform to often go and sell something. It's not easy now when we're launching. And like I said, being in pharma business, it's always on demand, not that kind of like a cartoon wala and all those things. So we don't necessarily go out and market those things, but this has been really challenging for me, and I'm hoping that in the future we'll have this kind of interactions regarding our menstrual hygiene and everything. So thank you once again to the team, and happy International Women's Day to every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Avi, for making it possible for all of us to experience your product. And like she said, please reach out to her to encourage and also support her initiative. And it's a homegrown initiative. On that note, may I ask my team to get the cake? Yes. And on that note, we have requested the proprietor of the White Owl, our dear friend and sister Atuno, to cut the cake with Ma'am, Bano, and with our MD and Itono, all of you to cut the cake together on this occasion marking the International Women's Day. So Atuno, may please lead, and all of you can put your hands together and hold the knife. I think the knife will get nervous today. Yes, 5 powerful women getting themselves together. Yes, and all of us, let's all clap. This is a celebration of all of us. Nito, please come. Yes, and I'm sure there are enough cameras to take your pictures. Hold the knife together. Yeah, you can hold. Let's all clap. Yes, all hands all together. Yes. All right. Happy International Women's Day. Everyone will get a piece as we move towards our meal. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, very much. We also would like to take this opportunity to share the Indian Postal Department has also extended their wishes to all of us here and encourages you to please log into www.indianpost.gov.in. There are insurance policies for working women, homemakers, everyone, basically generally for women, and they encourage women to take these policies to start saving, because saving is something that we really, really don't do, and they are looking forward to have more conversations with women in days to come to talk about policies that are made for them specially. So please do log into www.indiapost.gov.in and look into these policies where they have a particular duration that suits you. There's also amounts that suits your pocket and also policies that is right for you. And you know where the office is, just opposite the civil hospital on the highway, and they will be very happy to be at service with any questions in relation to you, to your child. There's child policies also in savings, family policies are available, and we, the community radio, we've already had them in our studio sharing different kinds of insurances and money saving schemes, and we would like to extend the same wish to all of you in this room that let's learn to save our money for our own security and also for our family actually. Yeah. With that note, I would like to welcome our ma'am. She is a dear ma'am and sister, auntie, mother, everything. We met we met through the Facebook, yes, and we had a cup of coffee and we felt that we really need to keep in touch. And over the years, we've been in touch and we have celebrated one another. And today, we're very grateful that she said yes. Even though she said, "Google, a little late, I'm going for a program." I said, "It doesn't matter, just come." And I said, "Oh, then I have a job for you." Since you already said yes, so today, with her observation, let's hear it from her. Let's put our hands together and man this.
Okay, first of all, happy International Women's Day to all the wonderful women here and to our young guy here also. Thank you, Google, for this opportunity. I'm feeling so excited, super excited today. You know, I work in the church, and so my work is to visit the church and preach. But today, being with all the different groups of people, I am feeling so blessed. And as I said, so excited and feeling so humbled to be here also. And thank you once again, Gugu, for this opportunity. As she said, we just followed in the Facebook and we met in person. And when we met in person, we realized that we are from the same boat. As we start talking, we didn't give time to one another. We had so many stories to share. So that's how we started our friendship. And thank you, ma'am. Of course, I came a little late. I was in the program. I was a speaker there, so I came a little late and I missed the first part. But of course, I know you very well, though we don't meet in person like this, but you are also my role model because you are a very strong lady, beautiful in and out. I don't know whether you know my husband, he knows you very well. He's a veterinary doctor, Dr. Inato Jimobi. Yeah, he's a deputy director now. So even if you don't meet in person, I'm your great fan, you know. So thank you once again. That was very encouraging. And our one and only bodybuilder here. This is really, really encouraging, a role model to all the people. And of course, our people are still new to this. So as you say, we face lots of this comments and also, naturally these things will come. But I salute you for overcoming all those things and coming up to this far. when you say weight loss program, I really want to join. As Ila was sharing that she wanted to join to increase her height. I want to join to lose my weight, especially my belly. I had three cesarean section, and so I have some problem to control my belly, and so that's how it's growing. But I do some exercises, but I have done the operation 6 times. So I cannot do the heavy exercises, but I do my own exercises. And so maybe very soon I'll join your gym to lose my weight. Anyway, thank you so much. So beautiful to be here. And then as Ma'am was sharing, all of you are looking very young, just like my daughter, like I have a 18 years old daughter. But it's so amazing and so nice to know that all of you are doing a very respectable job, and this is very encouraging for all of us. Okay, so I was also asked to say some few things before I pray, and so since I'm introduced as women's secretary, so I will not say much, but since I work in the church, I want to say something from the Bible, just few things. In the beginning, when God created Genesis 1:2 BC, God created heaven and earth, and He looked back and He said, "It is good." He created the sun, the stars, the flowers, the fishes, everything on the earth. He looked back, He was satisfied because they were all doing the purpose. And He said, "It is good." But when He created man, He looked back and He did not say it is good. In Genesis 2:18 we see that it is not good for a man to be alone, so I will create a helper for him. So now when we say about helper, many people have misunderstood the term helper. And I think, of course, now many educated people are coming, both men and women, and they are beginning to understand. But those were the days these helper were misunderstood. And as some of you were mentioning, we have a family language. Oh, you're just a woman. You should not do that. You should wash the dishes of your brothers. You should wash the clothes of your brother. You are just a woman, And for the son, we say, oh, you are a boy. Don't come to kitchen. This is not your work, That was our family language. And this very passage has been misunderstood. But when God said, I will make a helper for a man because it is not good for a man to be alone. Helper, He used Hebrew word Itzar. The spelling is E-Z-E-R, but when we pronounce it is Itzar. So Itzar means helper. And God Himself used as Itzar more than 20 times in Old Testament also. When He said to Israelites, okay, when you face some challenges, come to me, I will be your Itzar. I will be your helper. When your enemies come after you, you run to me, I will be your Itzar. See, so God was using this Itzar for more than 20 times in Old Testament. So Itzar is a comforter. Itzar is a person who strengthens others, who protects others, who guides others, who leads others. So it is not secondary human being. And so we ourselves, we should also not misunderstand this. But sometimes we ourselves, we used to say, I'm just a woman, my KSA, naparibo, kind of thing. We still say that, of course, comparatively much better. Many educated women are coming up, and we see lots of women here. But there are times when we ourselves, we say, I'm just a woman, I cannot do that. And sometimes that gives the advantage of the name. They themselves, they are saying they cannot do, even if you try to give them privileges. So we should not misunderstand our job, our responsibility. But we are created in the image of God. We are a very special person in the sight of God. We are a very important person in the sight of God. We are very valuable in the person of God. And that's why we are not an ordinary human being, but we are a very, very important person in the sight of God. VVIP, very, very important person in the sight of God. And that is why let us embrace ourselves and we are all busy in our own way. So these days, we find people to appreciate, we don't find people to appreciate us. And there are times when we wanted to be appreciated, but there are no one to appreciate us. So instead of waiting for others to appreciate us, let us embrace ourselves and say, oh, Kahili, you're doing good. Keep it up. Keep soaring higher and higher. That's not to boast about ourselves, But sometimes we need to encourage ourselves, and there are times when we are filled with when we are faced with so many challenges, we go through traumas after traumas. And so in such times we should not just, keep ourselves inside the house, but we should move out of that, we should move forward, and we should seek a professional counselor. There were times when we say, okay, she's going to counselor, I think something mental, those were the times, those were the days. But these days, thankfully, people are beginning to understand the value of a counselor. And we have one counselor here, Lovi, in the person of Lovi. In our department, women department, WSBG, we have a professional counselor. I also used to go and take counseling, and it really, really helps. Last year, I was into depression. My mental trauma was too much. And I was telling myself, oh, God really used to preach, used to tell others, be strong, be strong. What is happening to sometimes I would tell myself, but there were times I could not handle it myself. So I went and seek professional counselor, and then today I'm here. So we should not feel shy, but we should seek a counselor also. Or sometimes, as I said, instead of waiting for others, you should discover yourself what is the best healing therapy for you. You should also find ourselves. For me, listening to music, I love music. I'm not a very professional singer, but I do sing. I love singing. So for me, I love whenever I'm faced with so many challenges, I will listen to some good music. That will really help me. That's the best way for my healing therapy. Sometimes I love baking. I'm not a good baker, but I love baking. So I will I will see the video clips, and I will download one after another. I will order online all the cake molds and I will buy all the ingredients, and then by the end of the year, it will all expire because I never get time. My nature of work itself is traveling. I keep traveling for a home crusade, for the camping, for Mother's Camp, and this year I'm starting Mother's School again. So 8 churches have come forward for Mother's School. So till October I'm engaged. So like that. But just that, even if I cannot bake like 10, 20 cakes, at least in a year I bake 6, 7 cakes at the end of the year, so that I can give to some of my neighbor. So that's my therapy, So healing therapy. So instead of waiting for others to come and say, hey, you're doing good, you're this, that, I think we should also find ourselves a way to heal ourselves so that we can move forward. So with this, I would like to encourage all of us that we are not an ordinary human being. We are very, very special. It's our God, He Himself addressed Himself as the Itzar. I am the Itzar. You come to me when you face challenges, when your enemy run after you. You come to me. I will be your Itzar. So we are that Itzar. So we are powerful women of God. We are beautiful women of God. And that is why, as we celebrate this Women's Day, let us once again appreciate ourselves. Let us tell ourselves that I am valuable. Thank you so very much. God bless all of you. Now let me say a word of prayer. Dear God, our loving Heavenly Father, we give you all the glory and honor for being so good to all of us. Yes, Lord, you are good all the time, and all the time you're good. And it's all because of the love and grace that we are here in this afternoon. Thank you so very much for this time. Thank you for this beautiful women that you have created in your image. Remind us one more time that we are valuable. Remind us every day that we are precious in your sight. Remind us every time that we are a very important person in your sight because you have created us wonderfully, Lord. Thank you so much for this time. Thank you for all the organizers, the committee members, the wonderful people. We thank you once again for everything that we have discussed, we have shared this afternoon. And with this blessing, as we step up and partake your blessing, I pray, O Lord, that you'll sanctify it so that this food will become a food of healing, food of blessing, manifold blessing for all of us. We just want to thank you for everything. We want to commit ourselves one more time in your hand, your powerful hand, your hand that is safe and secure, your hand that is filled with love and kindness and protection, Lord, your hand that works a miracle. We thank you once again. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen. God bless all of you.
Thank you, sister. May I welcome Vilevi for the vote of thanks before she steps in. We would like to also say this to you. There is a goodwill box that is kept here outside as you walk out. We are crowdfunding, funding a free will donation that will go towards the Mar market that recently the fire incident. A lot of women have come forward, and we would like to extend this support and in solidarity to the women vendors and also those who may need this small humble collection that we will be taking. And let your heart speak, and we would like to encourage you. So don't miss out the little box that is kept out there. We would really appreciate your support in that. And may I welcome Vilevi to kindly take the time.
And then we have the group photograph and then food.
Hold on.
The best one for the last, I suppose. So, a very hungry afternoon to all of you. So, yeah. But yeah, on a serious note, very happy to be in the midst of all of you, women of grace and courage. Gugu being the Gugu that she is, I told her not to tell anyone that I made the brooch because if you look closely, it's just going to fall off. So, but she asked me to, say why lavender and white. So, lavender, and I think some of you are wearing lavender in commemoration of the IWD. So lavender, ever since the inception of the International Women's Day, it has been the official color for the celebration of this auspicious day. And so lavender, it represents loyalty, constancy, and purpose, and steadfastness to a cause. And white, it represents your grace and courage. So the lavender and the white brooch for all of you. But I don't take orders. It has been such an honor to have all of you come and celebrate this wonderful day and even to with us, the 90.8 Hills FM, in partnership with the White Owl book launch. So each and every one of you have immensely contributed in making this day worthwhile by showing up. So congratulations to all of you for showing up. However, by nature of default, it would be unfair not to pinpoint a few of you. Yeah. Firstly, I thank God for giving me and my friends, my teammates, and partners the wisdom to bring out the idea and get to be creative about such a celebration as this. I'm truly believing that this is such a rare celebration and one of its kind. In His goodness and grace, He has brought all of us together, and I'm firmly believing that this gathering has kindled relationships and breakthroughs that will last a lifetime. Madam Bano Jamir, you have awakened a sense of belongingness, the essence of being a woman, but also being a responsible human in all of us. We have always taken pride in you being a woman and have lived and will continue to live looking up to you. May you continue to shine, sparkle, and inspire. God bless you. Madam Afoni Torio, thank you for sharing your story and inspiring us on a whole lot different level. Yeah, thank you so much. That was really powerful and really interesting, something very different, and you have really sparked something within each and every one of us. Miss Kavi, can I see your hands wherever you are? Yeah, thank you for your lovely work of art. We have a special thank you note for all of you, and that has been beautifully handwritten, calligraphed by Miss Kavi. Miss Veduvulo Kusho, a celebration with nothing left to ponder on the memories later will be meaningless. So thank you for being here to capture beautiful pictures and memories for us. She is also the owner of the latest sushi bar in town, the La Branch. Yeah. And our Madam Kakli Jimo, thank you for coming and wrapping us and shielding us with the Word of God. Yeah, we are immensely blessed by your presence. Yeah. So in conclusion, during the interactive session, I've noticed that all of you wanted to say something, but we had to put a full stop because the session had to go on. So I'd like to invite all of you to our station, the 90.8 Hills FM community radio station. It's in the third floor of Hotel Senti, right in the middle of town. So all of you, I know you have something to talk about, you have issues that you want to address, and even if it's not your line of profession, you just want to come and sit and talk about something, appreciate somebody over the radio, and just come and dedicate songs and just talk about anything and everything under the sky. And so you're all welcome to come to our station and make use of the platform that have been so beautifully and so courageously set up by a group of young people. Yeah. So thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. And then please, as you step out of the room, don't forget to pop something into the charity box. Well, don't worry if you have not brought your hard cash. We have a UPI scanner, I guess, so you can just Google Pay and just mention Kohima fire victims. And so have a lovely afternoon. We look forward to celebrating over lunch. And so go and hop the food that's down on the first floor. So thank you so much. We love you all. God bless you.
So now, with that note, we will do a group photograph. We'll do a little arrangement.